Hello guys, trust you're doing fantastic. In today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to carry out hexadecimal subtraction. Now let's take the first example that says subtract 6276 base 16 from 7398 base 16. Now this is pretty very straightforward. Now you have 7398 minus 6276 because it says we should subtract 6276 from 7398. So it means that 7398 is going to subtract 6276. Right, so if you do this, it's straightforward. So we say 8 minus 6 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. So all in base 16. So this is pretty very easy and straightforward. Now let's move to the second example. Now the second example says subtract 437D from 824C. So this is already in base 16 because you have alphabet included among the numerical values. So once you have alphabet included, you should know that this is base 16 even without indicating it. This tells that this is base 16. Alright, so we're subtracting 437D from 824C. So what it means is that we're going to say that 824C minus 437D. Now let's carry out this subtraction. Now pay attention to the rules. Now C minus D. Now in this operation we can tell that C is 12, D is 13. So C is less than D. In this case we have to borrow 1 from 4. So we have to borrow 1 from this guy 4. Alright, and then this one that is borrowed represents 16. So every time you borrow 1 from the next column or from the next value, the one that you have borrowed represents 16. This is the rule because this is hexadecimal. Now let's continue. Now we borrow 1 from 4. It means what we're going to have left is going to be 3. So I've indicated this with this little ink, okay, with this kind of orange ink. All right, so we borrow 1 from 4. That one is added to this part, so it's the 1 represents 16. So that is why we have 16 plus. Now C represents 12. So 16 plus 12 minus D. D represents 13. So we say minus 13. This will give us 15. So 15 represents F in hexadecimal number system. So that is why we have F. So if you're not sure, you can punch your calculator. You're going to see you're going to get the same answer. Right? Because 16 plus 12 will give us 28. 28 minus 13 will give us 15. Okay, that's pretty very straightforward. So 15 represents F. So we write F. Now go to the next column. What is left is 13. What is left is 3 rather. No longer 4 because we have already borrowed 1. So we have 3 left. So 3 minus 7. 3 is less than 7. So what we need to do, we need to borrow 1 from 2. When we borrow 1 from 2, the 1 represents 16. So we'll say 16 plus 3 minus 7. So that will give us 12. Because 16 plus 3 is going to give us 19. Alright, so if you minus 7 from 19, you're going to get 12. So that is how we arrive at C, because 12 represents C. So we're going to arrive at C. Now moving to the next column, At this point, it's no longer 2 because we have borrowed 1 from 2, so we are left with 1. So 1 minus 3, we notice that 1 is less than 3, so we need to borrow 1 from 8. If you borrow 1 from 8, that 1 you borrowed represents 16. So we say 16 plus 1 minus this 3. So if you say 16 plus 1, that's 17. 17 minus 3 is going to give us 14. So what is the equivalent of 14? The equivalent of 14 is E. So we're going to write E at this point. Now, since we have borrowed 1 initially from 8, we're left with 7. Now, I have represented that with this green ink, 7. So we say 7 minus 4, we're going to arrive at 3. So our final answer is 3 ECF base 16. So this is how to solve this kind of question in hexadecimal subtraction. If you've gotten to this point, it means you have gained sufficient or significant knowledge. So I'm going to encourage you to pay attention to the subsequent videos in this channel. Alright then, enjoy this video. Bye.